Released as part of Dire Straits' fifth album, Brothers in Arms, the single Money for Nothing would prove to be the British band's biggest song of their career, but it also garnered an enormous amount of controversy. One country went as far as to ban the song from the public airwaves, resulting in a backlash from some radio stations, and today we're going to explore what happened. The single Money for Nothing was a massive hit for Dire Straits, going number 1 in the top 40 charts in several countries, including America. In addition to that, it won an MTV VMA for Video of the Year in 1986, in addition to receiving 11 nominations that year, and also took home a Grammy Award for Best Rock Performance by a Duo or Group. Dire Straits vocalist and guitarist Mark Knopfler would cite ZZ Top as one of the main influences on the song, as the band was a huge staple of MTV during the mid-80s. The song's origins came to Knopfler during a visit he made to a department store in New York City, and an employee dressed in work boots, a baseball cap, and checkered shirt walked up to Knopfler as he watched MTV on a wall of televisions and said the following: "What are those, Hawaiian noises? That ain't working." The exchange gave Knopfler an idea for a song, and he soon started writing lyrics using pieces of the actual conversation he had with the stranger. The song would be written from the perspective of the store employee he met that day. Sting would even sing background vocals on the song, and he's credited as a co-writer on the track as well. Motley Crue bassist Nikki Sixx would claim years later that the song was actually about his band's lifestyle, and that it was a Motley Crue video playing in the department store the day Knopfler became inspired to write the song. While the single was a massive hit for the band, it also drew controversy for being labeled homophobic for its use of the F word in the lyrics. Knopfler would tell Bill Flanagan in 1984, "I wanted to use a lot of the language that Real Guy actually used when I heard him, because it was more real," he'd say. Meanwhile, in a separate interview with Rolling Stone, they brought up the controversy in 1985, with Knopfler revealing, "I got an objection from the editor of a gay newspaper in London. He actually said it was below the belt." Apart from the fact that there are stupid gay people as well as stupid other people, it suggests that maybe you can't let it have so many meanings. You have to be direct. In fact, I'm still in two minds as to whether it was a good idea to write songs that aren't in the first person to take on other characters. The singer in Money for Nothing is a real ignoramus, hard hat mentality, somebody who sees everything in financial terms. I mean, this guy has a grudging respect for rock stars. He sees it in terms of, well, that's not working and yet the guy's rich, that's a good scam. He isn't sneering, he'd say. While the video proved to be a massive success on MTV, winning Video of the Year in 1986 at the MTV VMAs, Knopfler himself wasn't a fan of doing videos, and a lot of the videos that Dire Straits had released up until this point in time simply saw the band playing the song live. In the book I Want My MTV, director Steve Barron was asked by the band's record label to convince Knopfler to shoot a different type of video for the single, recalling meeting the band on tour in Europe in an effort to convince the band to do a new type of project, saying, "I really wanted to use a new computer technology called Paintbox, which was used to do colorization in commercials and to create logos for corporations." Barron would take Knopfler and his girlfriend to dinner and broach the subject, and as he told Knopfler that MTV needed to be shaken up, his girlfriend quickly interjected and said, and I quote, "Wow, you're so right about that. That's exactly what MTV needs." In January of 2011, it was announced by the Canadian Broadcast Standards Council that Money for Nothing was too offensive to be played on the Canadian airwaves. The Canadian Broadcast Standards issued their ruling after a resident of St. John's, Newfoundland, complained about the song. The ruling would not ban the song on Canadian airwaves, as radio stations could still play an edited version of the song. However, not all radio stations across Canada agreed with the ruling, with some stations, including Edmonton and Halifax, protesting the ruling by playing an unedited version of the song on repeat. However, in September of 2011, Canadian radio stations were once again allowed to resume playing the unedited version of the song, after the council ruled, and I quote, "The story told in the song developed at some length over more than 8 minutes, provides sufficient plot development, storyline, and context to justify the lyrics. The composer's language appears not to have had a lot of malevolent or insulting intention," they would say in their decision. That does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like button and subscribe, and we'll see you again on Rock and Roll True Story sticker.